More joy, but create an incredible leader. Who wants to be an incredible leader someday? You betcha. And somebody wanted to be, was it you, neuroscientist? First of all, you'll be the best dressed neuroscientist I've ever seen in my life, showing up in a tuxedo like that. But not only is it going to help you in business and your personal life, but as a leader and life in general. You guys ready to get this going? Great. So, an attitude governs the way you perceive the world and the way the world perceives you. What does that mean? That means how you wear your attitude is like clothing, right? So when you go to that restaurant, you have a negative attitude and you're mean to that wonderful, wonderful waiter who did an incredible job. But if you have a negative attitude and approach towards everything, not only your friends and family, but strangers, you're going to be perceived as a negative person. We don't want that, right? Nobody wants that. So this is incredibly important to know that what you do is seen by more than just who you are with. Do you guys know what I call a bad attitude? And this is something you're all going to take with you, especially the parents, when you look at your kids, and you're going to use this word, I guarantee you that, and with your friends. Do you know what a bad attitude is? A bad attitude. Look at somebody next to you and say, hey, don't give me no bad attitude. Look at somebody right now, don't give me a bad attitude. I'm saying it to you, don't give me a bad attitude. Don't have a bad attitude. A bad attitude doesn't yield any positive results. Attitudes are like colds, right? They're contagious. So when you're around somebody like this guy who smiles a lot, you did a great job. You're around somebody who's positive and they smile and they've got this energy and glow around them. Doesn't that attract you to them? And you want to be around them? But if you are around people that have a negative attitude, it's like somebody who's got the flu, right? You may love them, but not today, right? I'm going to give you some space because I don't want to catch what you got. But people with bad attitudes surround themselves with people with bad attitudes. Because now there's no difference between the two, right? There are two types of people in this world. Does anybody know what types of people they are? Shout them out. Anybody? Good and bad. What else?
Happy and sad.
Happy and sad. Great. I'm going to make this super easy for everybody. For the adults and the kids, you're going to love this and you'll remember this forever. You are either a Tigger or an Eeyore. That's it. These are the two types of people we have in our world today. A couple skits today showed me there was a couple Tiggers in the room. There was definitely a couple of Eeyores in the room, right? Tiggers like to hang out with Tiggers. Tiggers produce positive end results. Eeyores, who can do a good Eeyore impression? Anybody? They pointed at you. Oh, look at that guy. Yeah, the world is falling apart. It's horrible. Let's look at Tigger qualities. Tigger is my man. I love Tigger. He's bouncing around his tail. He's a light in the darkness, right? Everything is positive. Even when it's raining out, let's find something to do inside. It's okay. They have a positive attitude. They always look on the bright side. And most importantly, they're enthusiastic and passionate, which is contagious. There are a lot of leaders out there in our present and past, effective leaders, that are effective because of their positive attitude. I'm going to show you some right now. And a couple of them were actually mentioned today. I heard Abe Lincoln, Gandhi, right? Check out this list of people. Do you think these leaders in the world ever would be described as Eeyores?
No.
Never. Ever. They accomplished so much. They spoke to the masses. They brought their heart and soul and most importantly their belief to the forefront in order to make true positive change, right? That's impressive. That inspires me. Because what happens is these leaders did not act alone, did they? They rallied people who had the same belief and believed that they could change something. And we look at this group of people, they also risked everything. Some of them risked their lives for their belief. But it was because they were Tiggers in their approach. And if you see down here, I actually have Mel Gibson a couple times because has anybody seen The Patriot? The movie The Patriot? If you haven't, watch it. You'll understand what I mean. Has anybody seen Braveheart?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of you guys? Rent that movie too. If you want to see an example of a passionate, enthusiastic, mission-driven leader, these are two examples we can watch on the big screen. I know they're fake and they're characters, but they were modeled around real, positive people and leaders. Okay? Let's look at Eeyore for just a second. Eeyore has some very negative qualities, like a negative attitude. The sky's always falling. The glass is half empty. Wah, wah, right? Everything stinks. We also have somebody that goes out of their way to complain all the time. And that complaint is a direct result of not having a positive outlook in your life. Who here finds themselves complaining every now and then? Go ahead, raise your hand. Mine's up.
Kind of.
Kind of. Sometimes don't want to clean your room, don't want to take out the garbage, don't want to do stuff, right? Right. We need to change our attitude. And like a muscle in your body, your brain, your heart, everything that makes you make decisions is in your control. And we're going to show you how to actually affect that. Somebody, Adam, where's my Adams guy? There he is. Nothing positive has ever come out of anything negative. Not only is that philosophically correct, but scientifically correct at the same time. If we were to translate this into the way we operate and communicate as human beings, would you agree that's also correct? So we want to be conscious of the fact that when we are approaching school, sports, our friends and family, or anybody, that the way we approach it has got to have a positive result. In order to have a positive result, you have to have a positive approach. Right? Now, does anybody know who Winston Churchill is? Cool guy from Britain, right? Big guy, cigars, hat. He managed a lot. He accomplished a lot for not only England, but for Europe and peace and everything else. One thing he said that has to do with attitude, because he was an effective leader, was this: a pessimist, which by the way is which of the characters? Eeyore. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. Yet an optimist, Tigger, sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Who has an example of what I'm talking about here? Does anybody think they have an example or anything? Yes?
So this is, the audience is here, and Rishi and I talk about, it's a Sri Ram, which is Lord Rama. He was sent to the 14 years in exile. But he saw an opportunity. So I say that, in the Hindi, I write a poetry, say, Anukulta ka sabak milega Rama ki vanvasa se. That means in the adverse situation, you can transform those situations into favorable situation, even though you are going through the difficult times, and you see the opportunities. And Rama saw opportunity to meet great people when he was in jungle, when he was in exile. So he made a lot of great friends. He made a lot of good friends, and everything was kind of an opportunity for him, even though it was really everyone was crying. And if you would have been not a Tigger, you would have been sitting like this. I didn't want to go to the exile.
That's right.
So he took an opportunity even in the bad situations.
Yeah, great example. Here's another good example. Everybody here is sitting in the Walpole Public Library on a Saturday morning. Yeah. Psyched. This is great, right? But the fact that you guys are putting your education, your learning, your friends, your family, your school, your future first is inspiring to me. It's an honor for me to be in front of you because you are the future of this country, of this world. If you guys are all going to be the doctors, I want you operating on me, honestly. Sooner than later, because I got problems. I got problems. So now here's a little trick on how to manage your attitude by managing your expectations. This is key for adults as well. This little chart I'm about to show you has changed my life and my approach towards things. Here's a simple graph, XY axis. If I were to tell you expectations, which are what you believe should happen for you or to you in this world, right? Expectations are on the left, and we'll call this reality on the bottom, okay? If you're like me, my expectations are pretty high, right? I expect a lot not only from myself, but I expect a lot of others. Because if I do something some way, I cannot understand or comprehend how somebody else can't do what I can do. I'm not superhuman, but why can't others meet my expectations? My expectations are so high. But what happens now is you see the distance between expectations and reality. What does that cause?
Plateaus.
A gap. That gap between your expectations and your reality creates disappointment. And disappointment creates a baditude. And this is a cycle that so many people enter into every single day if you take the road of Eeyore, because your whole life expectation is up here for achievement. Some people, if you get an A-, you are so hard on yourselves. And I'll never understand that, because I mean, I'd throw a party if I had an A-. I would. I'd invite all my friends. It would be great. But we need to understand that there's a certain component to life, expectations and attitude. Because at the root of all of this is if we can bring this expectation down, we eliminate disappointment and we increase the opportunity for joy. For truly living life in a positive way and having the effects of our life pour onto others. And if, as a leader, we look at how our attitude affects others first, you will have stronger relationships, stronger employees, you will have stronger businesses, and you will have a more positive life. Does that make sense? We all encounter hard times, hurt feelings, heartache, pain, emotional pain. Sometimes it's physical ailments, it's pain, right? But the key is to realize that it's not what happens to you that matters, but rather how we all choose to respond to what happened. So if somebody breaks their leg and you miss soccer season, it's a bummer, right? But life is not over. You can still be a critical part of your soccer. Hang on. Nice guy. Let me hang it. All right. That was awkward. But if you break your leg and you're part of a sports team or you're part of something that you still believe in, you can still be a part of that team as far as positive morale, inspiration, support, etc. We need to look at the opportunity in the difficulty, correct? If we wake up every day and we say out loud, we're going to be Tiggers today, we're going to be Tiggers today. Not only are you saying it, you're believing it. Then guess what happens? You do it. And you can make this happen not only for yourselves and your friends and family, but for those around you who, by the way, may need some lifting up. They may need some positivity in their life, and that can be from you. And it starts with you. Attitude is a choice. I want to make that very clear. Eeyore could change if he wanted to. Eeyore chose to stay Eeyore. That's why Tigger is so popular. And we need to make sure that we understand why Tigger is popular is because we don't want to be Eeyore. He's loving and endearing and we feel bad for him. But he can't get out of his own way. So we just want to shake him. Say, wake up! Because there's so much life and positivity you can bring to others. It's not all about you. and we can change the way we approach our days. So I want to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite authors, John C. Maxwell. He says, "People may hear your words, but they feel your attitude." And I want to challenge you today, and I want to inspire you today to be a positive light for others in your life, so you can bear positive fruit in your school, your sports, your relationships, your family, and ultimately become an effective, positive leader. Thank you very much.